Nobody ever takes a drink and they say to themselves, you know what? I'm going to drive while I'm intoxicated. It sometimes sneaks upon you. And then once you're intoxicated, you're not making good decisions. All right. Court is calling 2024. Thank you, Marco. 2024 CR 00825, State of Texas versus Jesus Rivera Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris Edelman.
Defense.
Elizabeth Settle for the defense.
And are you Jesus Rivera Jr.?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
I have, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Rivera, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we are waiving the repeater offender enhancement allegation and waiving count 2.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
So you're proceeding on count 1 and count 3, state? All right. And each of the cause numbers, did you review what's entitled court admonishments with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
And count 3, you're charged with driving while intoxicated with a child under 15 years of age. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. And count 1, you're charged with injury to a child or elderly, disabled, reckless, serious bodily injury. That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses? Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Rivera, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
In each cause number, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. In each cause, did you review the plea bargain page?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right. And did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, have there been any such motion?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So according to your plea bargain agreement, as it relates to count 3, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. The state recommends community supervision. There's to be restitution, if any, to Jose Espinosa, Espinosa. In count 1, according to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 8 years in the prison, and the state is recommending community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea,
It is, Your Honor.
state is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the cause number, as it relates to count 3, outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. There be a TAP evaluation, DWI intervention, VIP live, portable alcohol monitor for half the term. And in count 1, outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 8 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No counsel.
Count 3, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No counsel.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
Contained in Exhibit 1 in attachments, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
And was it the party's intention that these cause numbers would run concurrently?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right, State, you may be excused.
Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, did you review the waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement that the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
In each cause number, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.
Yes.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty of count 1 and count 3, and the court will find you guilty of count 1 and count 3. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We would like to waive PSI to you.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we're just asking that you do follow the agreement. His daughter does not live with him, lives with the mother. He is paying child support. He, the injury that was involved in this case, was a 2-inch cut caused by her glasses she was wearing. She didn't need any medical attention for it. We'd just like you to take that into consideration and order the agreement be followed.
All right, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
What do you do?
Electrician.
How many children do you have?
I got 4 children.
What are their ages?
13, 9, 5, and 4.
And the child that was injured because you were driving intoxicated, how old is she?
She's 13, about to be 14.
Why would you drink and then pick up your child?
I wasn't thinking at the time.
Mhm.
So I just want to go get some tacos, try to make it home. That was it.
So how often do you drink?
I don't even drink no more after this.
No, but during this time, how often were
that
you
time.
drinking?
Maybe every Friday.
Was this on a Friday?
I don't know exactly.
So how often are you seeing your children now?
Because of this situation, she kind of split apart a little bit. So trying to work my way in, trying to talk to her, take care of my situation so I could be better.
All right, was Child Protective Services involved?
No, ma'am.
Do you live by yourself or you live with someone?
I live with my wife.
And are there any vehicles at the home?
No, no, ma'am.
Well, what happened to your vehicle?
Well, I never had a vehicle. No. I was using my mother's car at that time.
When's the last time you've driven?
The last time that was situation with my case when I had a crash.
All right, any other questions? Do you
No.
have questions of your client?
You did attend sober support meetings leading
Yes,
up
ma'am.
to this, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
And how many of those did you do?
Since the time that I think it was 8 March when you gave it to me 60 days.
Mhm.
Been doing that, but I've been coming home. I do like a 12-hour shift. So when I come home tired, class don't start till 8 o'clock. So it's an hour and a half. I know that don't matter, it's just a day. So that was my understanding was.
Okay, you didn't answer a question.
I'm sorry. I did maybe like 45
Mhm.
already. And I've been blowing through that detector. But every I think it's 5 in the morning, 5 at night, and 10 in the afternoon.
And are you continuing to attend?
Oh yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. As previously stated, the court is finding you guilty of count 1 and count 3. The court will run count 1 and count 3 concurrently. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. regular random UAs. Make sure there's a test for alcohol. There's going to be, in count one, the court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 8 years. And count two, the court will sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility. I'm sorry, not count two, count three. The court will sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 4 years. There's to be restitution to Jose Itzazras, Itzarras Espinoza. And that's Espinoza with an A. If any, counsel, if there is an issue with restitution, you can request a restitution hearing.
All right, Judge.
The DWI intervention course, victim impact count alive, portable, well, the PAM device for half the term.
Half the term of the DWI count, correct, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you.
So probation, that'll be half the term under count three.
And Judge, would the court be amenable to giving him credit for the months that he's had that?
No. There's going to be 90 sober support meetings in 90 days. State, are you requesting driver's license suspension? All right, there's going to be 2-year driver's license suspension. So you're not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you drive, that's going to be a violation of your probation. I'm not going to allow you to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
No, Judge,
And
you're-
counsel, if he wants to approach at some point in time where he wishes to have a occupational license, then he can approach. But first, he needs to have more sobriety under his belt and go through probation with some classes. Once he's done that, I'll reconsider.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. There's going to be a TAP evaluation. Follow recommendations probation. If TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. There will be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to require that he takes parenting classes. Once he completes the parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied.
Thank you, Judge.
Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits 1 time per month for 4 months. Probation, is there anything else he needs? All right, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question about what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, we can go off the record. So the thing about the no driving, do not drive. You're not allowed to drive. If you want to drive, wait the appropriate amount of time. Your attorney can come in and request it. And I will tell you, if there have been no violations, and if I think it is appropriate, more likely than not, I'll give you permission to drive with an occupational license. But you'll need to approach the court. So don't try to sneak and drive or do any of that, because if you do, you're looking at 8 years on one case and you're looking at 2 on the other. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And
please.
that state jail facility time is day for day. You understand?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I do.
Now, the thing about driving while intoxicated, nobody ever takes a drink and they say to themselves, you know what? I'm going to drive while I'm intoxicated. It sometimes sneaks upon you. And then once you're intoxicated, you're not making good decisions. Your daughter could have easily been killed. The other people could have been easily killed. Then you would have been standing before me crying, saying, well, I've already lost my daughter. Show me mercy. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're one of those people who cannot drink at all. So don't drink. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, clearly.
All right. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If there's anything you need, ask probation. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can always approach the court. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you. Probation is going to go over conditions with you. and they'll give you instructions.
Thank you very much. You have a
Thank you,
blessed.
Judge.
Oh, thank you. You have a blessed day too. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
All right. Have the babies?
They're good.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Thank you.
Have a good one. All right, who's here on Venegas? Oh, Marco Venegas, she has two cases. I only have one. I have the one for 5-2. I don't have the one for 5-4.
Give me 1 second.
All right, thank you. All right, why were you late for court?
There was no excuse really. I mean, the excuse that I have is, it was a stupid excuse because I wore
No,
the wrong
what's your
shoe-
stupid excuse?
I wore the wrong shoes and I was walking really slow because I didn't want to fall. And I shouldn't have worn these shoes. I
Okay, so here's the thing. This is what you have to understand.
apologize.
This is what you have to understand. How old are you?
I know I'm 44, man.
All right, you're 44. On September 24th, there was a bond forfeiture issued for you because you were a no-show and you came strolling in at 9:40 a.m. And at that time, it was recalled. Your attorney came back and it was recalled and you're late again. Do not be late for this court again. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're late again, then guess what's going to end up happening? We're going to call it. Your attorney, he's not looking at going into custody, it will be you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, counsel, where are we on these cases with discovery?
No problem. We're finished with discovery, Your Honor.
Okay. State, were you able to tender an offer?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. Last time.
Okay.
My mistake, Your Honor.
All right. So we were here and I do see that the offer was tendered and we were coming back today for a plea deadline date.
I believe it's correct, Your Honor.
All right. So are you asking for a jury trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date. It's a drug case. It should be fairly short. How much time do you think?
2 days, maybe.
2 days, maybe. All right, your jury trial is November 12th. If you are not on time, a warrant will be issued. Do you understand? Unless there's good cause.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, once you sign the reset form, you are excused.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Court is calling 2024 CR 009591, State of Texas versus Kimberly Villanueva. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Andrew Harris Edelman.
for the defense?
Danielle Cranberg?
And are you Miss Villanueva?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, off the record for a moment. All right, we're back on the record. Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
I have, Your Honor.
And did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Villanueva, did you review the application for community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, off the record. Excuse me, Mr. Folsom. Mr. Folsom, you're talking too loud. We're on the record. That's okay. All right, and it'd probably be best that you have a seat. All right, we're back on the record. Ms. Villanueva, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with the offense of theft of property less than $2,500, 2 or more previous convictions. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
I'm sorry.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into this plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe that she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Ms. Villanueva, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. The state recommends community supervision. They're taking in consideration AL 2181212. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours community service restitution, no contact with Walmarts in Bear County, and Andrea Macedo, Macedo, the MRT, and the anti-theft course. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Contained in Exhibit 1 and attachments, Your Honor.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Honor. We would ask, for the court to follow the agreement. She is willing to do the probation. She is not currently employed, but she's seeking employment. She does have call center experience. She's hoping to get another work from home job at a call center and to help, take care of her father, who is currently sick.
All right. So I have a question for you. You say you're taking care of your father, is that correct?
Not really. He's actually has cancer, so he's dying of cancer already.
I'm sorry, what?
He's dying of cancer. He has stage 4 liver cancer.
All right, so my question is, are you taking care of
No,
him?
ma'am.
That was a misstatement on my part, Judge. I guess I mean to, spend time with him while she can.
All right. So here's the other question. When's the last time you had employment?
Last year at Speedy's Exchange. What Speedy Exchange? Yes,
Doing what?
call center, telephone representative.
All right, why do you continue to steal?
Because I haven't been able to get a job due to my
No.
felonies, my history. But I'm still seeking for employment, ma'am.
No, this is not the first time you're stealing. I'm trying to figure out your go-to is stealing. What if everybody who didn't have a job decided to steal? So you have prior theft cases, and they were all state jail felonies. So why do you continue to steal? And according to this, you've been stealing since 2014, and you just want to stop stealing. So you're stealing and you're using drugs. Why is this?
Well, the past, yes, my last ones, yes, ma'am. I was an addict. I'm no longer using. I've been sober for quite a couple of years already. I did have a fallback to say, that one time with this recent case that I have. But I haven't picked up a charge since 2013 for theft. I've been,
No,
I've been-
not since 2013, because you have this and this is from 2023.
right, that was the most recent one, yes, ma'am.
So
But
why do you
prior-
keep stealing? It's still not answering my question. I don't understand.
I was going through some personal issues at the moment with my kids,
With what?
with my kids being taken away.
Okay,
So I went to what I knew best.
but your children, were they taken away because you were using drugs?
No, ma'am, for allegations.
What allegations?
Um, of using drugs and then not. What was it? Like using drugs, basically.
All right, for using drugs. So when were they taken away from you?
That's it.
And who are they staying with?
They're, they've been adopted.
All right, so your rights were terminated. So here's my question. And you know yourself better than I know you, better than your attorney knows you. Do you really think you're going to do well at this probation? Because you had a choice to do what you needed to do and have custody of your children, and you chose to commit thefts and continue to use.
Yes, ma'am, because I didn't have to get my children back, but,
I'm sorry, what?
yes, I do, I feel like the probation will be right, I will, do my complete probation, I completed probation before, successfully. Again, I had a slip, you know, I'm not trying to go back to that lifestyle, I'm just trying to do right, but. Times are hard.
And if you're drug tested today, and you will be, what is the results going to be? Tell the truth.
I'll be, positive for marijuana.
And what else?
Marijuana.
So you're telling me when you're drug tested today, you're only going to be positive for marijuana? So if I send you across the hallway to get drug tested, I mean, that can happen today. And you're saying it's just going to be marijuana. All right. We can have a drug test done. Is there anything you want to say before I send you to go do your drug test? All right, so I'm going to find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. We're going to recall this for tomorrow. She's going to do a drug test today.
You can tell her that.
I'm sorry, not tomorrow. We're going to, is there something she wants to say?
There is, Your Honor.
Oh, what would you wish to say to the court?
Yes, I can get positive for the,
I'm sorry, what?
I'm putting on my 10 positive for the drug and bonds.
And what would that be? All right, so why are you playing games with me? Well, no, that means you were dishonest with the court. I asked you, what would you be positive for? You said marijuana, nothing else. I told you I could send you right across the hallway to get drug tested, and you said, please do. You know, send me. I'm not going to be positive for anything else. So now you're telling me it's going to be meth. When's the last time you used meth? All right. And what else? All right. And who are you living with?
Currently, am I going with my grandmother?
And how many children does she have living with her other than you?
No.
So if probation goes out there at that house, you're going to tell me that there are not going to be any minors at that house. So who all is in the house?
So it's just myself and my husband.
I'm sorry, who?
Myself and my husband.
At your grandmother's house.
My grandma's deceased. She passed, like she's passed away last year in December, but it's her house. We were staying there at her house. It's her property.
So I'm confused. She said she's living with her grandmother.
No, she's living at her
Grandmother's.
grandmother's house.
No, beforehand, she's like, I'm living with my grandmother. So now she's staying at her grandmother's house. And it's just her and her husband at her grandmother's house.
Yeah, I guess I missed the part where she said she was staying with her grandmother. I
Okay.
didn't hear that part. I just heard grandmother's house. But
So it's just you and your husband at your grandmother's house. And there are no children at that location. And how often is he using?
I think it isn't you.
Okay, usually when people use, the people they're with usually use.
He doesn't use, but he's not. He doesn't use.
All right, I'm gonna place you on probation, but I'm telling you right now, probation is gonna make visits at that location. Do you understand? All right. Court is gonna sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 4 years. Taking consideration AL 2181212. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. There's going to be a TAP evaluation, follow all TAP recommendations. There's to be proof of employment within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no contact with Walmarts, and that means any Walmart. There's to be no contact with Andrea Macedo, the MRT, CATS 1 and CATS 2. Bill visits 1 time per month for 6 months. We can do a referral to felony drug court. You need to make sure you make all of those appointments to felony drug court. There's to be 100 hours of community service restitution and 120 sober meetings in 120 days. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you in this court to be successful on probation. Communication is key, okay? All right, good luck. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 5698, State of Texas versus Armando Garcia. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris Edelman.
Michael DeLeon for Mr. Garcia.
And are you Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just one moment. Ms. Abrams, do you have the original motion to revoke on Mr. Garcia? I only have the first amendment. All right, Mr. Garcia, did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and First Amendment Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Armando Garcia who's placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 5698 for the offense of felon in possession of a firearm on September 23rd, 2022 for a term of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I have a stamp, please? Thank you. All right, state.
On or about the 18th day of March 2024 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Armando Garcia did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer or supervision officer and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State waives the remaining violation allegations, Your Honor.
Any objection to the state's waivers?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 2 years in the prison?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing, and up to a $500 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
I think we have an agreement for 2 years, Your Honor, revocation, and we'd like him to get any credit he had previously gotten in custody and or in ISF.
All right, and if I could have a trial court certification?
All right.
So, Mr. Garcia, are you asking the court to follow the agreement and revoke you and sentence you to 2 years in the prison?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Court will revoke, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $500 fine. Time and money will run concurrently. And counsel, you said other credit you were requesting?
He
I did
he was in,
lifetime and I
Oh,
said,
wait, so here's the thing. Can't have you all talking over each other. Court reporter is trying to hear. You understand? All right, Mr. Delia.
He did some lifetime recovery, Your Honor, and ISF, I believe, along with being in custody for the past several months.
All right, so here's my question. Lifetime recovery, was that inpatient?
Yes.
Probation was lifetime recovery inpatient? And did he successfully complete that? And then ISF, was that completed?
Sure.
All right, any objection, state, to him receiving credit for lifetime recovery?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then I'll give you credit for any time completed in ISF and lifetime recovery. All right, is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
We're gonna figure out how much jail time he has.
All right.
Correct, Your Honor?
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, with regards to his other case.
Yes, we needed a trial setting for that, Your Honor.
All right. And on this case, how long do y'all expect the jury trial to last?
It's relatively short, 2 or 3 days.
All right.
3 days.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Need a 2-day jury trial, criminal trial division. All right, December 10th.
There it is.
All
Thank
right,
you, Judge.
thank you.
Excuse me, I got a question.
Yes,
The time I'm waiting on, for till December, is all that counting on these 2 years too?
yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, we're back on the record in 2018 CR 1860, Nathan Medina. And state, what information do you have?
After speaking with both Martha and Cindy from the DA's office, they searched his name, both spelling Nathan, Nathen, as well as Nathan, and his date of birth, and they could not find any case.
Okay. All right, and does he have any other cases?
Does, Your Honor.
And what are these other cases?
It's a Bear County case for failure to identify.
All right, is this going to end up being a contested MTR?
We might come to an agreement between now and the date. Tony and I will continue to confer, but it feels like at this point that probably it will be contested.
All right, what bond amount are you requesting, state?
State is requesting 30,000, Your Honor.
Defense, what type of bond are you requesting?
Judge, we were requesting 15,000 with any conditions that the court felt was appropriate.
All right, court will set the bond at $15,000. Partial GPS for employment only. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Any other conditions that are being requested?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Norma, if you can give him a reset form for October 31st, state you'll need to be ready for a contested hearing on that day.
Sure.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Have a great day.
All right, you too. All right, we're back on the record in 2023 CR 2522, State versus Celestino Garcia. Where we left off, defense was requesting that his client be sentenced under 1244. State, do you have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Are you asking me to sentence you under 1244?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll sentence him under 1244, but it'll be till a year.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will sentence you to 1 year in the Bear County Jail under 1244 and give you credit for any time served. And as previously stated, the court has taken in consideration 2024 PF 18478. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
No.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
No.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Sure.
All right, we can go off the record. Whatever drug issues you have, if you don't take care of those, one or two things are going to end up happening. One, you're going to lose all your brain cells because that's what drugs do. Two, somebody's going to find a body on the side of the road or in a field, and somebody's going to have to come out and identify that body, and that's going to be you. Or three, you're going to end up spending a majority of your life in prison. You got to decide how you want your life to be. Do you understand?
Sure.
There are plenty of places here in San Antonio where they have free drug treatment for you. When you're released from the Bexar County Jail, if you can't find a place to go, if you come back here, I direct you to a free place, okay?
Sure.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank
See, I thought it was up here, but I didn't see it up here.
I could have sworn I printed it out this morning, I guess.
No, I think you had, but I don't know where it is. I was looking at the docket and saw that that person hadn't come in yet, the attorney.
Let's have a message for you.
Yeah.
Coming in for recess.
So let me see, I'm gonna double check again.
Judge, on Mr. Baker, 'cause I know that one would get, are we only issuing the judge's warrant on that PF case? Or are we doing
Yes.
that case?
No, just on the PF case.
Just on the PF case?
Mhm.
Okay, I just want to double check. Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome.
First of all, thank you for letting us here, please.
Oh,
I
no,
appreciate that.
no problem.
Judge, that's on Austin Young. Mr. Young was continued about a month ago. He had lost his PAM device.
Mhm.
You put him on scram. We haven't had any violations.
Mhm.
He is not feeling very well mentally.
Mhm.
And so he is looked into some mental health treatment for 45 days. The family can pay for it. They're willing to do that. There's a letter from the facility that they will accept him. And so I've talked to the state and they're okay with him going as long as he,
Have you talked to probation officer?
yes,
And,
there was no objection for anybody stuff.
okay.
State's okay. They just want him to stay in touch with probation. And it's a kind of a dual diagnosis place, but it's mainly that because he does have some underlying substance abuse he's had to deal with. But mainly he's just not feeling very well mentally.
All right, he's still gonna have to do his testing though.
Yes, ma'am. Well, he does testing through his places too.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
And he's got the scram machine on. We're gonna keep that on, so.
Okay. All right. And counsel, I know you were recently placed upon this case. Ms. Pettis, have you had any contact with the attorney that was previously appointed to represent you?
Just my mom, I told my mom to contact them. She said she got a hold of him. Something about he was gonna be out of town or.
All right, so we're gonna go on the record. The court is calling 2024 CR 2756, State of Texas versus April Ann Pettis. Ms. Pettis, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Abraham Pettis.
All right, there was an attorney that was previously appointed to represent you. Had you personally had any contact with that attorney?
No.
All right, and are you asking that Mr. Castellon be appointed to represent you?
Yes.
All right, and for the record, you are?
I'm Orlando Castellon.
All right, and so Mr. Castellon, I know you were just appointed to represent
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Pettis. So I'll give you a 30-day reset, give you a chance for him to have discovery. If he wants you brought back over sooner, he can let the court know and we'll put you on the docket sooner. Do you understand?
I will be filing a motion to set bond. I believe she's been remanded without bond. She said she was not aware of her prior setting, so.
All right.
There any chance that we could get that done this afternoon? Sure. Then, Your Honor.
Do you want to bring, not tomorrow? We
Yeah,
can bring her
I'm
back.
actually not gonna be available tomorrow.
I mean, we can set it for sometime next week if you want to set it for next week.
Okay, that's fine, Judge. I'm available next week.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. So we'll bring you back on October 28th.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Norma, if you can make sure she comes back on the 28th.